now we got ourselves another Grandmaster. And Jan is back, so I feel
for
like...
the jinxing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna struggle in this game.
Who's the real Gambit 101?
I don't know. An American. The Americans who just sent the worst team of all time to the Basketball World Cup.
Do you think they're gonna lose to Serbia or not even make it there?
I think unless Serbia has like a terrible game from 3, they're gonna be in very good shape.
How many dumb G5 do you know?
These are the only ones. I actually know a little bit of theory here as well. But the theory, I can explain the theory. The theory is
white wins or
is e5, queen b6, and hope that you flag him. That's the theory. Wow, now the queens are off. Then I have definite hope for this game. Basically, this terrible ending is what you hope for in this line. That is...
yeah, the Norwegian Retta thing will gain some followers. Your G5 lines, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Anybody's
well,
converting.
I feel like I got a really good position against the real Chuck Norris, though. And in this game, like, you cannot say that this is too bad.
Well, can't say it's too good either.
Nah, this is okay. Rook e6. We got ourselves an extra central pawn. I was gonna take with the rook, but that's a bit too dumb. d5 is coming up. What's not to like? If I didn't know any better, I would say that black already has a positional advantage. But
you do know better.
I do know better. That's what I was gonna say. But I would say it's only slightly worse. This I'm not particularly scared of. My king is going to find itself on d6 pretty soon. I have some intel that our boy Anish has been playing some kind of line against the Karakan, like e4, c6, knight f3,
d5, d3,
d5, d3, exactly. So I'm sort of inspired by that in trying to get the king to d6 and all of that.
I think the Karakan line, he's just trying to pay homage to you by mirroring this. Wherever is this line? Knight f3, knight f6, c4, c5, knight c3, d5, cd, knight d5, e3.
Maybe. Maybe. That is his point. So, now my king is finally getting close to the promised land. And I gotta say that despite that... yeah, despite his outside passed pawn, I would say that looks like black is a little better. Maybe it's hard to make progress though. Yeah, king f4 doesn't do much. So I try and... Ooh, she should not allow c5. That's for sure. He's getting, I feel, dangerously short of space now.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't interrupt when I'm blundering pawns. What? Why did I do that? I knew that I had to go... king d6 once he does this. You think you're gonna get a draw? Yeah, I think he's gonna get a draw.
Really?
Nah, he's not gonna get a draw. He doesn't want to draw. Wow. The insolence. It's incredible. Okay. Let me take this knight on a fishing trip. You're thinking too long, Mr. Gambit. It's not gonna end well for you. You're not catching that knight. Dream on! Why are you playing so slowly? Ah, this is his point. Tricky.
But I think the Flaggers Guild will give you the win if you keep the knight and the bishop. So
yeah, for sure. This is not even close to the kind of position where I would not flag him.
Even though his speed improved a lot. Timing of bishop d3. Wow, that was lucky.
That was...
I think it was a good game, except for g5 and then...
So, Olympia Erkan is quite a prominent tweeter and chess, I think, historian, coach, whatever, from Singapore. I think he's played once in the Bantam Blitz before. I'm not so sure. But I played him in the Simul in Singapore once. Seems to be a very friendly guy. Yeah, don't know why I'm playing like this. Semi-Tarash, not the most interesting opening. But it's okay. So the thing is here that basically you give white a space advantage for free, but you're hoping that the two minor sets of minor pieces that have been exchanged is a very helpful factor for black, in that there is less of an opportunity to use said space advantage, and eventually I'm hoping that my 2-against-1 majority on the queen side can be a factor in the ending. So here I'm just playing it pretty slowly. He goes for e5. I should go knight f8 at some point to protect against possible mate on h7, and also reroute the knight to g6 potentially. Now after knight d2, I could try and induce a queen exchange with queen g5, but I'm gonna go knight g6 instead. I'm not too worried about taking on g6. I think that weakening of my position will not be fatal. So here, yeah, I think I should take. If bishop e4, I'm gonna go knight e7, try and reroute the knight to d5, and if queen e4, intending d5, opening up the position, I'm gonna go rook c4, and then I should be pretty fine. So now knight e7. Yeah, so still this is not majorly exciting, but I am, as I mentioned earlier, I am hoping that this little majority and now his backwards d pawn is gonna give me something to hope for in the future. And I think rook c1, it was a step in the wrong direction, to be fair. He cannot really achieve much by exchanging rooks. As I said, my long-term prospects here are with pawn majority and pawn weakness
on d4, my long-term prospects are pretty good, so I think these exchanges are not necessarily good for him. Can I go rook c4? Queen d3, take d4, check h7, and then check h8 and bishop h7. No, I cannot do that. So I gotta be a bit careful. Huh. Bishop b1 was a good move. Or at least a slightly difficult one to meet. Yeah, I'm not loving the move h5, but at the very least I'm getting I can go g6 later on without being bothered by yeah, now I'm gonna go g6. So what I was gonna say is without being bothered by h5 then, breaking up. Oh, he's really going for it, huh? I guess I gotta take this one. Yeah, his attack is probably quite strong. Okay, let me try knight f5. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get away with bishop f5, gf5, then king h7, hiding the king there. But it's certainly a bit worrisome. King h7, d5, I think I can go ed, and that's not too dangerous. Otherwise, I'm also hoping g3 counterplay at some point. It reminds me a lot of a game I played against Zubov as black in the World Rapids last year, and in that game I also had a torrid time before eventually winning. So his problem here is that he sort of achieved everything he wanted, getting the queen to f6 and breaking up the king side, but it's sort of hard to see where he's really going from here. So I think I'm going to go rook g7, just protecting f7, trying to free up the queen. Yeah, king h2 I guess is sensible. Queen c7, I'm going to go intending queen c2, which looks like a major threat. Queen c1 now, I guess. It does feel as though I'm really taking over this game. Also, I'm protecting against h7 threats. No, this doesn't work. Queen g1, and there's queen f2, and that's gonna be mate after. Eventually, yeah. So he doesn't stick the Sicilian, although he got a pretty nice position the last time. So we go for this. Okay. Let me try and take the center. It's what you're supposed to do, right? Go with the bishop on c2 when you have the chance. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Maybe this is just that. Yeah, probably ed5 doesn't really impress there. Developing, thinking if knight d5, gonna go knight c3. Continuing on that very theme of developing. I feel like I haven't done that much wrong. So if I'm worse, I'm only a little worse. I feel like that's sort of the silver lining here. And here, I think he just blundered. Yeah, this is really bad. Queen d5 loses to bishop f6 and bishop e4 with a nice little skewer. And hg knight e7 followed by knight g5 seems to be winning as well. So, yeah, it turned around pretty quickly. Didn't really even have time to be worried. So bishop g4, pretty logical. Queen d3. So queen g6 could be a threat. Fg, knight g6. Yeah, doesn't let me do it. How to kill here? Could just go h4 if I want. But is that really what people pay the big bucks to see? Knight g6 takes, bishop g5, queen g5, threatening queen h6, queen d7, queen h6, knight h7. So I guess I'm going h4 after all. Didn't want to rock the boat. I think also knight f7 followed by knight g6 and knight e5 was winning. Yeah, too lazy. So the thing is, on the previous move, I think knight f7 probably didn't work because of takes and queen f8, but now I think it may work. Rook e7, queen h6. Oh, knight h7 and take on g6. You can take on. You can take on d1, on e1. Sorry. I guess I'm going to take instead. Why am I doing this? Bishop g7? Somehow that just escaped my attention. Ugh. So dumb. So dumb. Hoping for bishop h5 and knight f7. Trying to, yeah, continue my initiative. Truth be told, this position looks pretty dangerous here as well. Thinking a lot, which doesn't help him. Now I think rook e7 wins. He has no good way to protect against queen g7. This one is mate. Yeah, I should have gone queen h7, knight h7, and then queen. Then knight f7 mate though. I think he did very well in the Banter Blitz Cup, right? That was not a different Mariana, but I think it was the Pro Wizard. So we're playing a 3-minute game. Gonna play like Harana did against me, albeit quite unsuccessfully. Maybe I have some improvements. Okay. Let me just go for c6. Yeah, h3, this is the same position that I had against Karana. But I actually went queen b3. I in clutch chess I went for queen c2, but then in the Chessable Masters I went for queen. Okay, so I guess I should go g6. Try and learn from what Fabiano did against me. And he goes a4. Okay, I guess I'm going to go a5. It's what I did as well, but with the queen on b3 instead, and then I could go queen a3 in some lines, trying to offer the exchange of queens. Rook b1, I guess quite logical. Okay, so clearly a lot of action is going to take place on the queen side here, so I'm just bringing some of my forces over there. But obviously, rook b8 doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless my opponent's going to go b4 at some point, but I assume he is. So this is what Fabiano did against me. Just rerouting this knight to d6. The good thing about the d6 square is that from d6 the knight just firmly defends b7 and also prepares the exchange of bishops, which is, I think, almost always going to be positionally desirable for me. Although in all this talk of positionally desirable, I did miss queen c3, which is a little bit awkward for me to meet, but I think it's all good. Queen d8 protects the pawn. Now I'm going to take on b4, take on c5. He takes with the queen, and now let's just double those rooks. Should play b5 while I have the chance, no? Yeah, I think so. Now I should put the queen somewhere, or should I go for the... Okay, let me go rook a7. I was considering queen a8, but I think rook a7, a better purpose of that move is just to go knight c4 next, preventing the potential fork with knight b7. My opponent is playing really well here. He could have gone knight b3 to simplify. Didn't do that, so I'm going to go queen a8 finally, trying to keep some of that tension. Oh, e4. That's interesting. I'm going to take it. Queen c3. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Gotta play faster. Please stepping out of that diagonal. Now I just take this and hope for the best. Take a4, and I always got some rook a3 moves, also some queen a5 maybe. Now I think queen a5. King g7, but I'm short of time. My position is good, but I'm really getting short of time here. Oh, that's an annoying move. It's a really annoying move. Oh, I thought I was going to go queen c3. How do I keep any pawns here? No, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. Queen c3, that was a little bit helpful. Now my position is good. Probably has to exchange. Then it's all about speed. He tries to keep the tension. Knight d4, push, push, push. d2. I think b4 almost certainly coming next. Oh, there we go. That was a stupid pre-move. He was thinking I was gonna go Queen d4, but Queen g5. I was mating in a few moves there, but not sure I would have made it in time if he just managed to come up with one surprise. But that was tough. Yeah, it's a very good player. Fun forest. Here we go. Okay. It's only one opening to try, obviously. Maybe he's prepared against the rat. Who knows? He's thinking, so he probably hasn't. Reading bishop d3? That looks weird. I don't think this is too impressive. Because I'm probably going to get a good version of the French here. Yeah, so he sensibly decides to avoid bishop g4. What am I gonna do? Bishop f5 instead. Am I running into e6? Nah, I don't think so. Maybe I am. Okay. Yeah, I'm not commenting right now because I don't know what to say really. It's just a mess, but I'm very happy with what he just did. I feel like now my play could possibly be vindicated. Ooh. He has rook b1, which is a bit annoying if I go back to c6. Yeah, I'll go to b5 instead. Feel like the knight is gonna sit really pretty on d6. Now I think I'm just better. Bishop g7 is coming and knight on a8 is doomed. And he might still nominally be material up after knight b6, but yeah, I think my positional trumps, they are much more valuable, and he also cannot castle. Yeah, queen b6 would be a nice move, except for the fact that I would just go queen e4 check and then take the knight. Not worried about entering and ending with a rook down, since I'm getting that knight back. Yeah. King is sitting very pretty on c6. I suspect that I was losing after knight g5, queen a5 in the opening, let's say after just castles, but after he took an e6, the game became pretty unclear and subsequently has turned around quite a bit. What should I do? Queen e4? a5 looks nice. a4. Queen back to c4. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have played knight b5, but it feels much better just to continue squeezing him here. e4, reintroducing the threat of knight to b5. Now we can check on d3, followed by knight c4. b5 is still coming. b4, knight a3. Oh, I could also take on h6. I should take a little bit care to not to lose some time still. No, I mean, that was not my intention. Now I'm probably gonna lose some time. Checkmate! How about that? Okay. Exciting stuff. Still playing too slowly, but at least the games are fun.
Oh, I actually played this one before. Goldstein, French Ion. It's gonna be interesting. So he's repeating what I was doing with Bishop c4. Let's there's gonna be a theme match, huh? Okay, let me see if I can try b5 and if I can do better here than my opponents did there. Not sure though. But no more of the rat and such. So it just takes. I feel like this is supposed to be okay for black. Slightly unnerving, of course, that he's playing so quickly. So what do I have here? Knight f4? Doesn't look too bad. Queen f3, there is... Oh, you can go bishop c6. That's a miss. I was thinking of queen f3 and then I have e4. That was my big point. But yeah, I think he's missed knight h3 and then queen b5. He's gonna attack two of his pieces. Yeah, or it attacks f1 as well as yeah. Okay, so still not. It's still not clear at all. I'm finding out. Since he now is threatening the rook on a8. If bishop b7, there's queen h4 check. Picking up the knight on h3. So what should I do? Rook b8. Queen b7 is a move. Yeah, let me just go rook b8. Cannot be too bad. So the immediate GH doesn't work because of bishop b7 skewering the queen, and but yeah, knight c3 is perfectly possible. And now I don't have a way to keep the knight, so I could just go like queen f5, exchange queens, and then I'm probably not doing too badly. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just going queen d7. If he takes the knight, I'm going rook b4, threatening bishop b7, and I'm hoping to have decent compensation there. I'm a couple of pawns down, my king is in the center, but I do have the two bishops. So I feel like objectively this cannot be too disastrous for me. And also practically speaking, I feel that I'm doing pretty well. if queen a8 pinning the bishop, then I think I'm going bishop d6, threatening queen h3, which would be very, very unpleasant for him. Yeah, king g1, but I do feel as though that is a bit slow. Now that he goes queen f3, I think I can take on h3. Yeah, I think I can do that. There's bishop h5, sorry, bishop g5, but I think I can go bishop e7. That's what I was relying on. f6, bishop f6, take it. I probably don't have a good square for, yeah, okay. He's playing really well. It's very unclear at this point. Should go back to d8. I feel like the king is a bit more active there than it is on f8. He does have to exchange queens now, and this means that I am doing pretty fine. Although I'd sort of underestimated knight b5. Now we can take an a7, king d8, threatening rook. Okay, let's go f6. Yeah, I didn't see that he was threatening rook e7. This is all going south at the moment for me. Okay, now I'm gonna have to play fast and potentially flag him in order to win the game. But I can do that. Bishop h3. Rook a2 back. Yeah, I'm not gonna accept a draw, of course. We're not in the charity business here. I've gained a couple of pawns back and should be winning the ending. Rook h4 is going to win another pawn next. And that's going to be the end of the game, provided I don't flag. Which I shouldn't do, since I have a lot more time than he has. Oh, don't stalemate him. Let's mate next. Okay. Okay, let me go for, try something more solid. Knight of 6. What I beat him with in Vaikonsé should still be okay, right? Unless he's come up with something new and brilliant. Am I supposed to do b5? I guess bishop b3. It's a bit surprising. So I can go h6. No, bishop e6. Bishop e6, rook e6, d4. I think d5 is playable. At least I don't see a refutation. Now we got d5. Should have a very decent position. He doesn't have the usual like Italian sort of play with knight h4 and everything. As long as the bishop is on f8, those ideas should not be too successful. So I'm just trying to redeploy here. Bishop g7. Yeah, knight d7 looks interesting. Intending f5. Guess I'm just gonna go for that. Take f5. f6, I suppose. I think I got a fairly comfortable position here. Queen c2. Just tuck the king away. Bishop c5, not really sure what the bishop is doing there. Queen f7. It's not such an easy position to play, as I'm constantly having to look for ideas. Yeah. Really want to get rid of that pawn on a6. e5 is protected, so that's not a worry. Knight b7, kicking the bishop away. Now I get... I'll just take it as a matter of fact. Knight d6. Not too much happening here, though. I can go e4 whenever I want. I'm not sure I really want that. Yeah, rook a1. He's good at this, just keeping the tension, forcing people to spend a bunch of time. Because, yeah, position looks pretty good, but there's not that much to do. And then he will try and flag me eventually. Okay, yeah. As I said, the status quo is not great for me since I'm a bit slower, so I should try and do something. I guess knight f7. Let's see, 4 is also an option. I'm gonna go knight f7. Knight e3, I'm taking, take. Then he's got some good knights, so it's not clear at all. But I feel like I should be doing okay. Rook a7. Yeah. Okay, rook d7. Yeah, this I missed. Should I just go knight g5, knight f6, king h8, rook c8? Yeah, I cannot calculate. Just cannot calculate. Knight g4, I got h5. That was my idea. My king is sort of running away. Oh, this is clever. What am I doing? Take it. Come on. So fucking slow. Wow. Wow! Wow! I could just have done it, actually. So wherever he moves his rook now, I'm gonna go c5. Okay. And of course there's no pen with rook e to c1, because I have two pieces covering c8. And if he takes rook c1, obviously I go rook to b8. And I attack b2, and if he takes on c5, rook takes b2. I have no problems whatsoever. You probably will go rook c2 then, but then I bring the king into the game, and I have absolutely no worries. If his knight was a little bit more active here, I might have been a bit worse, but now I think it's just fine. There was maybe also rook d8 there, which could be considered. Okay, so I do have the plan of going bishop. No, the bishop is not going to b1. That's protected by the knight. Yeah, so I think if the game proceeds more or less normally here, we should head towards a draw, but anything can happen still, of course. Yeah, I was thinking a lot here because I feel as though he doesn't really find the whole position very promising. I don't even need to go to c6 though. So his plan is king c1 and then knight c4 maybe. So I'll go to c6 after all, and I'll push a4. a4 might be a slight weakness once he puts the knight on c3, but also my bishop is landing on b3, so I don't think it's a real worry. Okay. I think I will take this opportunity to try and improve my king side a bit. Yeah, so bishop e3, and now h5, and I want to go h4 to get a bit of a clamp here. And he's very solid, of course, but I do think he's a little bit worse. Now I go g4, I believe. Or is g4 any good? No, I think g4 is good. Because he has such problems with his king here. Yeah. So this was my point. That he can hardly take, because take on f5 because rook g2 comes, and he has I don't think he can both stop all of my mating ideas and h3 ideas, and yeah, I guess here he sort of survives, but I'm still considerably better. Okay. Maybe I'm not a lot better actually. It's kind of improving his pieces and making it difficult for me to progress. I really need to push that guy to h4. To h3. Maybe now e4 is not a bad idea, but I can't go h3, so it's not looking that great. Now e4, I think. Okay, now we go h3. Rook h4, e5. Okay, this is gonna come down to speed a bit as well. Oh, I keep on blundering a4. What am I doing? Okay, I think we'll take. Okay, he didn't allow a bishop. Okay, this is just a mess. It's just a total and utter mess. Now he'll take on a4, I think. Okay. Let's go king f4 first. Okay, now he's just losing. h2 coming, king e3, rook d3 is mates. Okay. Yeah, that was that was an Oof, that was a horrendous mess. What happened? Like, my pawn on a4 was hanging all the time, and neither of us could keep our head cool. Just a mess. Not good so far. Not good at all. Let's go back to basics. London system. I mean, I'm down 2 games already. This could be a bloodbath. Are we gonna get the same structure? No, he goes d6, obviously. Okay. Should we go h3? No, I won't. I had something similar against him with reversed colors in the World Rapids in 2016. And there he sort of managed to outplay me, so this makes me a little bit worried. Okay, we go bishop g5. Yeah, probably shouldn't have allowed this. Should I go d5? I guess I'll go d5. I don't think it's great, but didn't see what else to do. Bishop g3, don't like giving up that bishop particularly, and also knight d2 or knight e1, knight f4. Then I have to go bishop g3 probably, and didn't love it. Okay, I'll take on h4 first, he goes knight f6, then I take on c6. Basically, he has a stronger center and the bishop pair, but he has a significantly weaker king. So I think, like, theoretically, black is absolutely fine, or he might even be a little bit better, but I have the hope that in practice it might be a bit easier to play white. So here I just want to go rook c1 and then b3 to evacuate the long diagonal, and hopefully limiting the power of his bishop on g7. Yeah, here I think after queen a4 I go knight a4. I mean, I've already put one knight on the rim, so why not another? And after c5, I was kind of happy to see though. I think I'll go queen d3, and then the idea is to go knight f5 next. And with c5, he's obviously cut off the queen from f5, which means that I can annoy him this way. Rook d8, knight f5, c4. Does that work? It would be really annoying if it did. Knight e7, king f8. And I take on c4 in some way, sack a piece, he takes an e7. How do I attack his king? I think the answer is that I probably can't. Okay, so we go rook d1 instead. Now, if bishop d7, I believe I can go knight f5. Yeah, now I will do it, because d6 is hanging after c4. Okay, spending a lot of time. That is good, but I know this from all sorts of World Blitz championships that he can play really well when short of time. So I did miss queen takes d6, bishop takes a4. There's queen a3 then, rook d1, queen b4. That doesn't seem to work. We take on c4 immediately, king e7, queen d6. It's really complicated. Okay, I have a way to, I see a way to at least win some material there. So I'll take on d6, and then I'll go rook c5, and it's queen b4. I have rook e5, bishop e6, bishop b5, queen b5. I take on b5, rook d8, rook b8, king goes, and I have 2 pieces and 3 pawns. Sorry, a rook and 3 pawns for 2 minor pieces, or namely 2 bishops. So I should be doing great there. Okay, so we give a check. Bishop b5. Okay, rook b5. You can try and be really cute and go rook c8 here, but I just would win anyway. I think just take on d8 and win the a pawn somehow. And like, I guess he has some chances here, but 4 pawns just should be more than enough. Should I take on d7? Seems like a good technical solution, actually. Exchange a few pieces, and then with 4 pawns against this bishop, it should be quite easy. So we just exchange a bunch of pawns, create passers on both sides. Now that he moves his bishop, I push a4. Moves his bishop again, h3. It's just going to be way too much for him to deal with here. Go h4. Take with the. He has to go h4 to have any sort of chance, but I don't believe it's close to enough. g5 now. I have 4 pawns that I'm pushing. That is just way too much for him. We push g6. Then we go b4, a5. Then we have e5 as well. Yeah, this is just way too much. Okay. Alexander Injic, if that's how we pronounce it. I think he's being coached by Morozovic. Injic is supposed to be like the tallest grandmaster in the world. He's really tall. Okay, so I'm just gonna go bishop b5. I think this guy, as I said, is being coached by Morozovic, so I'm sure he has a bunch of interesting ideas no, so what's the story here? What do you do? a5 or d4 or what? I don't know. I'm just gonna castle. Just gonna castle. So he goes a6, bishop e2. So this was what I had against Wei Yi here the other day. It looks pretty moronic to, like, it feels like I'm playing some sort of worse Sicilian, but there are some points to it. I'm not gonna disclose all of them, but I can safely say that it's not as stupid as it looks. Which would be, of course, a bit of a shame because it looks kind of stupid. I mean, I'm just playing this without thinking. Well, this should work, right? Bishop f3. I mean, I can do a number of things. I can go just bishop f3, d5, attacking the queen, then queen d3, has to go rook a7. Can go bishop e3, followed by a5 then. I think with decent compensation. I can also take on d6, bishop e2, d7, knight e2 later on, castles. Maybe b3 followed by bishop a3 should be slightly better. And I could take on f6. Bishop f6 seems to be forced. Queen d6, bishop e2, knight e2. And also their white seems to be slightly better. So I think it's a pleasant choice. Okay, whatever. This just feels like the most sort of principled of the options that I have. Like I'm actually trying not to just to be slightly better, but hopefully like quite a bit better. And he's burning time like there's no tomorrow. So that's a good thing. For me, that is. Not necessarily for him. So for the moment, he's got an extra pawn, but not like a whole lot of joy. So what can I do here? A b6, bishop b6. I could go rook a6, win the pawn back, but then he gets to weaken my pawn structure with bishop e3. So I don't really want to do that. I can go bishop c5. Maybe what he did was clever. He burned a lot of time, but probably he came up with something decent. So let me try. And now, I mean, I just burnt all my time myself. And I'm not up on time anymore, which means that I will have to play well in order to win. But I still have pressure here because I'm threatening bishop c6 after he castles. And hopefully I will get to take on b6 with some potentially fairly mighty passers. I think just rook d2. Can I be really arrogant and just go h3? Okay, I don't have time. I'm just gonna liquidate a bit. Yeah, rook d6. I didn't like that one. I cannot take on a6. So this is not a blunder because there would be back rank issues for him as well. But no, it's not going to be easy to win, of course. Oh boy. Don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, he's playing too slowly. Now he's losing a pawn. Position is still a draw, but it's not that easy for him. Okay, and he lost some time. But at this point, he actually had to play very well to make a draw, which is already or kind of well, which was already a massive achievement for me. Friend of the program, Pepe Cuenca, whom I did beat in our Banter Blitz Cup match earlier this year. It feels like an eternity ago. Let's go, Pepe! Vamos! Oh, there we go. He's here. Let's face him with a Sicilian. Probably not the wisest choice, but who cares, right? H3 will go B5, showing little to no care. Bishop B7 and G6. I think this is not considered to be great, but then again, who cares? Knight FD7, I suppose. Bishop G7 was running into E5. At least I'm making him think. A4 is very logical. I think I have to chop that one off. Knight A4 and then Bishop G7. If I can just continue or finish my development here, as I think I more or less have, then my position will be quite sound. There is a weakness on A6, but I don't think it's too terrible. And besides that, could be imagined that G4 is more a weakness than a strength here. I think we'll go Rook B8, attacking B2 while we have the chance. Yeah, I was hoping he wouldn't dare to take an A6, and he hasn't, so good for me. We'll take and then take on B2, I think. It seems to me my position is somewhat better now. This one. Oh, he's laying a nasty trap. Let's say Queen C8, then he would go Rook takes C6, Queen C6, Knight D5 with a double attack. Knight takes E7 mate and also threatening my queen, Rook on B2, and I don't think both of those can be defended against. So I need to thread a bit carefully. And I think we'll do that by going Bishop B7 back. Rook A7, we'll go Knight C5. I think now I should be in the driver's seat. There's Knight D5 now attacking the Rook, but I think I'll just take on C2 with the Rook. Everything's protected and it looks fine. Yes. I'll take that one. Knight b4 attacks the rook, which leaves it a bit short of squares, but would have had knight e6, then rook returning to c7, protecting everything. Now after this move, e5, it's logical, of course, opening up. I think we take it. We chop off the knight, which could be dangerous. And then we chop off some more. We go e6. And I think here I have a considerable positional advantage as well as an extra pawn, so I should be able to win this, at least in practice. And now we have a little tactic. Rook e4. I didn't see rook d1 though. It was a bit unfortunate, but in general I should win. Speaking of little tactics, I think knight h3 works. King g2, there's rook f4. King g3, we go rook f6 back. Saving the knight. Knight f2, there's rook d2, so we need to be a bit careful. So we go knight f4 instead. Bishop f3, h6, and everything's protected. Now it should be plain sailing. Knight g6, regrouping. Now we bring the other rook, rook b3 with decisive threats. And that's game over. Okay. Good. I think a fairly decent game there. No atrocious blunders and fairly reasonable strategy.
Now it looks like I finally managed to accept the challenge from Pepe. I'm white in the first game. I should have checked his repertoire, but I didn't, so I'm gonna play something simple. Apparently he won by 9-0. Was that the score in the first round? Anyway, what is clear is you cannot do better than that. Okay, let me take this one, not allowing knight to e4. Then I'm gonna try a quick attack, showing little to no respect. Bishop h7 may be a threat already. But seeing as the center is fairly close, I'm just gonna run all my pawns at him. And I feel like it should have a very decent chance to be successful. h5 is not really possible because of knight e5. Also g6 is very strong. Knight e5, g6, knight takes, fg, bishop g, then bishop d6 followed by queen e7. He might have some defense. So I feel like g6 is cleaner. I think it's just utterly busted here. Take it. Knight g5, I suppose. Okay, I guess he's done fairly well not to get mated immediately. Maybe I could have been more incisive there, but yeah, I don't even want to take the exchange, just keep the initiative. Go back, advance the pawn. He should have gone CD at some point, just to get some semblance of counterplay. He still can, but h6 is coming very quickly. Perhaps even after CD, but there is no way I'm gonna allow him even a glimmer of counterplay. Knight g4 with the point of bishop e8, then bishop g5, I have bishop f7 and queen h7, which mates. rook c8, but I don't think he has counterplay, and h6 is simply crashing through. Bishop e8 followed by hg is a crushing threat. And there's nothing he can do about it. Okay. Clever enough. I didn't see that. So he gives up the exchange, and the game goes on a little bit. I had queen c7 there. It would have been a nice little touch. Although in principle I'm not sure I want to exchange queens. Knight g4, king g3 is not a problem. Yeah, it goes around, but that's a nasty fork. Okay, first one to me. Good stuff.
Okay, let's go for a 3-minute game. This is FM Dr. Pipo from France. And I do get another white here. And the 3-minute game means that I will be able to talk a little bit less, I think. So I'm going for the main line of the Petrov here. Let's see what he has in store. I'm sure he's well versed in theory here. Rook e8, yeah, it's a very reasonable move. Usually here you go for a quick attack of some sort. So I think this is very reasonable. I could go knight e5, but I wanna try an attack. Now knight d3 is logical, but I would go queen d3. And yeah, again, I just want to attack. So I'm giving up this piece and hoping for some serious attacking chances. Also, I could have gone bishop h7 immediately here. I think would also have been interesting. Knight g4 seems like the most logical move here. Probably go rook d to e1 then to keep the tension. Yeah, f5. Guess this is also reasonable, but I'm just gonna try and blow everything open. Takes the knight. I open the h file, of course. And queen a5. Bishop d4 looks very good. Now queen h3 followed by queen h7 is a threat. Also just opening the third rank for the queen, I think, is in general very useful for me. I think also rook h8, king h8, queen h3, king g8, g6, maybe a decisive threat. Basic conclusion is he's in a lot of trouble here. c5 would lose to queen c4, and mate to follow shortly there because you cannot block on the diagonal. Queen a2. If g6, there is fg4 and there's no longer queen h7. So I need to think here a little bit. Queen in a2 also helps with the defense, because later on the queen can come to g8. Let's say after rook h8, queen h3, and then g6. Maybe there is some defense there based on, but then again, I don't see it concretely, so I think I'm just going to go for rook h8. In that line, king f8 would still be mate after queen h8. queen h8, and then bishop g7. So some sort of defense would have to be based on bishop f6, I think, and then bishop f6, king f8. But it looks hard to believe. Actually, I think I had a very nice line there. Just to pause a second, bishop f6, bishop takes f6, king f8. Yeah, there's bishop g7, there's king e7 maybe. So maybe that wasn't. But now we do probably get the chance to deliver a nice mate. Again, queen h8. Queen h7 is a massive threat. And king f8, now there is bishop takes g7, king takes g7, since there's no king e7. And then queen h7, king f6, g5, king e6, queen f7 would have been mate. Rook e2 is a nice attempt at counterplay because it threatens queen a1 mate. But unfortunately for him, I get to deliver another checkmate, and now there's back rank checkmate instead. Yep. Okay, so we need 2 more wins, and we're good. And what better way to get a win than to play the old London system, which has served me so faithfully for so long. Castles. What are the tricks here? Usually c3, because that's a move I'm going to play anyway. Basically, he wants bishop d3, queen c7, right? Let me see. At least I haven't wasted time on bishop g3, so should be able to take and then queen e5. No? Can't be too bad. Maybe he has mixed up his systems here a bit. Okay, let's go f4. And let's just play for an attack. We don't want to trade those bishops. I'm claiming that my bishop is better than his, even though his prevents me from castling at the moment. And I understand that this is a highly controversial claim, but I am prepared to defend my view as Steinis would have. I'm prepared to defend it over the next few minutes. So I can go queen f3 next, but like Ali G would say, I'm not gonna give you any bullshit figures here. I'm just gonna show my true intentions at once and go g4. And maybe after knight e7, I will slow down slightly and consider a move like queen f3. So maybe I was bluffing. Maybe I wasn't that aggressively inclined. Let's see. This is interesting. He is allowing g5 and then queen h5. Okay, let me bring the rook instead then. Keep him guessing ever so slightly. Maybe he could have gone cd4, ed4, knight d4 there, and just really go for it, you know? Queen b4 coming next. It might have been a tad unpleasant to meet in a practical game. So now I am getting a little bit worried. If I go g5 here, well, first of all, there's knight e7. Queen f3, there is cd4, and then, so maybe I should go knight df3, which is logical. The reason I didn't want to do that before, and the reason it didn't occur to me immediately, is that I don't want to allow his knight to go to e4. But now that his knight has gone away from f6, it feels a bit more feasible. He can go f6. I think I will reply by taking either knight. I haven't decided which one yet. Probably the one on c6, I think. Yeah, I think the one on c6. And then I will go g5. I can't do anything violent, I think. So. Yeah, I think I'll take the one on c6. Then I'll go g5. f5, so he does close up the position. Yeah, it's not so easy to do a whole lot now. I probably either misplayed it or there wasn't so much to begin with here. Okay, that's a good move. Probably should have taken care of it earlier. Not loving the development in this game, but I feel like I should still be relatively safe here. Okay, we go queen d2. I'm not so sure, actually, that in general, opening up the game on the queen side is good for him when I may have a weak king long term, but on the other hand, his pieces are not that impressively placed right now. Bishop b5 is a good move, though. Now I do get rook to c1. And we got a typical stonewall structure, which should be favorable to me. Bishop a4. I'm not sure I want that. Okay, well, let's just go back. Yeah, bishop a4, that was b4 and b5 and then b4. I thought maybe then I could go bishop a4 later on, but I'm not sure that was really favorable. Okay, so he decides to exchange after all. I think he's going to take with the queen, not to allow me to exchange any more major pieces. Okay, let me go a3. The idea is to go bishop a4 and then to provoke b5, but not to allow okay, I gotta speed up. Sorry, not to allow b4. Gotta speed up. Whenever he exchanges, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, he moves the knight along. I think I'm just going to go a5, try and get rid of the queen side, and then I have a space advantage and I have a better bishop, so it's not like it's a dead draw by any means here. But this one I don't like. This one I don't like at all. I get rook a8, no? Oh, he does have g6. Okay, maybe it's not a disaster. Can go bishop a4. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that's really nice. Threatening. I was threatening knight d7, and when he moves the king, I have bishop c6, and now he's just utterly stalemated over there. Okay, so now we just bring the king into the game. I don't think he can save it. Yeah, he does have knight d7, but I just take it and then I go knight c5. The bishop is actually completely out of play on e4. Yeah, we give a check. Knight d7. With this, I am conceding just a little bit of control over the position, but it doesn't matter as this guy is just running. Queen and then rook h7, and that's game over. Okay.
Alida says the fantastic star. Wow. He is a fantastic star though. Trying the Scandinavian again. He's playing fast, very fast. It's unnerving. h3, really? Looks a bit dumb. g4, is that his plan? Nah. Okay, knight c6, I guess. Bishop f5. Hoping that after d5, knight b4 is a good move. e6. I don't know. Lone castle. Trying to get an attack going. I can feel some knight b. Yeah, exactly. As I was gonna say, I could feel some knight b5 coming. Anyway, trying to keep calm. No need to take that knight quite yet. Yeah, g5. Let's go. We got ourselves a nice game here. A little race. The way chess used to be played, right? I want to take that knight so badly. After knight e5 was no longer an issue, it felt a lot more feasible. Knight d5, intending knight b6. I'm not so sure he's got enough. Yeah. There's b6, but then he's got c4. Yeah, maybe he does have compensation here. Okay, bishop d3. Queen a7, I'm gonna go king d7, hope for the best. Always hope for the best. No need to note that this time I'm hoping for the best. Bishop g7 looks normal. Maybe he was just bluffing. Could I have gone bishop? I could have gone bishop f1! Oh my god. It's threatening mate, you dumbass. Ugh, that is annoying me. I was worried about queen a7 or knight f6, but it's threatening mate. But he doesn't have anything here either. Queen a7, king d7, and knight e5 doesn't work because of takes, and there's a pin, but his rook is hanging, so I think he has nothing. Now I just go f5. Oh my god, he's so tricky. Threatening rook b8, obviously. But now he really has nothing. Yeah, check, I take, knight c6, b3. So now he's turning to his other tricks, yeah, playing fast.
Okay, bishop d3, why not? King e8, playing it really safe. And he resigned! Yes! It makes me so happy. Beating one of the best young players of our generation. Very happy with that one. Somebody I played in one of the first Banter Blitzes, a Charlotte Revenge, Jordan van Forest, who I think actually managed the Girian feat of making 11 draws out of 11 in Isle of Man in the FIDE Grand Swiss. He had a bunch of good positions, so I tried to play the Scandinavian. He goes knight c3. I'm gonna try and insist on the Scandinavian, and there we go. It's always fun, I think. Let me see, a6. This is very bad, by the way. It's not recommended by any means. Now I'm also out of book. Knight c6 maybe? So usually after c6 people go knight e5, but here I'm not so sure that it is as convincing. If bishop f4 I was going to be brave, just knight d4 and ask him to show me the money. So queen d6 back, I suppose. And it doesn't look too bad. Bishop c4. Is that a good move? He's running into b5. Bishop b7. I feel like I'm getting everything with tempo now. Castles, I've got... Well, I've got b4, but then he goes bishop a4, so I don't want to do that. But I got c5, which looks pretty nice. If takes, queen c6, f3, e6, and so on. Simply got an excellent position. And this one is strange. I get queen e5 with tempo. Rook d8. Feels like... What is he doing? I don't get this at all. Yeah, I think I'm just pawn up here for fairly little. No need to take on g2 or anything. Just e6, and I also got the positional threat of going c5, so you cannot actually protect that pawn. So should be plain sailing from here. Yeah, you gotta stop studying the Italian, Jordan. You gotta think a bit more about the Scandinavian. I guess that's the moral of the story. And c5, he has bishop a5, so he gets c4, c3, but it's not too helpful. Maybe it is a bit helpful. Bishop f6. Why not? If rook d6, I got bishop e5. Here I can simply go b4, I guess. Bishop to d4. h5. Activating the rook. And I blundered this one? Oh my... Ugh. That That is awful. I'm winning a pawn still, because he has no good square for the rook. Rook d3 goes. I go bishop e2 and rook f1. I go bishop e2 as well. I think he should have tried rook takes d4, just sacking the exchange. Here I'm feeling like this is a bit too easy for me. HG, bishop d5. If BC there was both rook h2 and g2. Rook h1. He has to go back. No, this doesn't work. I win a piece. No, Jordan, that was a pitiful showing. That was awful. Your buddy Johann Sebastian did a lot better. Not good. Not good at all.